We're the guys that supply power to the entire city, hospitals, schools, residential areas. We're pretty much the backbone for every city to actually run properly. I'm a hardworking guy. In this trade, this career, you can basically make your own opportunity. That's the thing I like about this, is you're looking for work, you got it, you put in your hours in, you get your money's worth. My name is Miguel Bautista. I am 29 years old. I am from Downey in Los Angeles County, and I am a groundman.
So this right here is a utility pole. So let's say we're gonna replace this pole. So me as a groundman, I would have to first dig another hole right in front of it, clean it out, make sure that it's clean on the edges so that way the pole gets inserted properly and goes smoothly through. Then they start filling it back in. A lot of these poles send electricity through the city. So this is basically why we all have power.
When I first got out of high school, my parents were encouraging me to go to college. I went to a community college, and then I transferred over to Cal State Dominguez. I paid maybe about $3.5 grand for that one semester. And I thought, okay, so if I go to this university for 2 years so I can get my bachelor's degree, and then I have to go do another 2 years for a master's degree where I'm still not guaranteed anything, I think I was just doing it to make my family proud. I wanted to switch things up in my life. I enlisted into the Army Reserves in 2018. I work as a generator mechanic. If it involves me using a wrench or having to do some kind of physical work on a vehicle, then I'm getting in on that. In the Army Reserves, instantly I realized that I like working more with tools than I do having to work with people. I started thinking, you know what, I already have some knowledge with tools. Why not just keep going with that and see how it turns out? When I'd gotten back from training in Virginia, I was looking up jobs that I can do related to generators. I went from learning about generator mechanic stuff to an electrician, and then somehow I just stumbled up on lineman. The lineman is essentially setting up all these power poles. They're the ones that are putting the fire to the wire. Currently I am working as a groundman, but I am aspiring to be a lineman. In 2019, I went into Los Angeles Trade Tech to become a lineman. I went into a power line mechanic program. You're in there first semester and you're learning about how to climb the poles, what the procedure is to pull things up to whoever's on top of the pole, aka the lineman in the future. Almost felt like second nature for me. I finished getting my climbing certificate and I was ready to move on. I was trying to look for work, so I went to one union, which is Local 47 in Riverside, and I also applied to another union. And literally a week later, Local 47 called me for work. So far, I have done 2 contracts. Digging 6 by 11 foot holes was my first job. And that was working in San Diego in a town called Julian. They would fly us up to the top of these mountains, hanging on from a cable line underneath a helicopter. You know, it's so difficult to try to breathe, you're sweating bullets, having to use this heavy 50 to 90 pound jackhammer, setting up these poles on the mountainside. So it was a fun job. Even though it's just digging a hole, there's kind of an art to it. There has to be a certain diameter around the hole. And it gets even more trickier when there's rocks and hard soil. When you're using a jackhammer that's 50 to 90 pounds, vibrating violently on your hand, after a while you're gonna start feeling it.
This is bullshit.
Sometimes you can be working in the hot heat. Sometimes you can end up working in the snow.
Are you like that snow, Daniel?
Every circumstance and condition that gets put out there to make the job just a little bit more entertaining and different. It always feels like an adventure because every time it's always going to be a learning experience.